Hey everybody, welcome back to Birch Creek Homestead. Thanks for joining us today. I want to talk today a little bit about this Earthway cedar that we just got. We got this about a month ago. We haven't tried it yet, but it's mid-April and it's time to plant some stuff that this thing can help with. So I want to do sort of a first impression thing about it. I want to talk about it after I have planted with it and do sort of a first impression review. So to tell you a little bit about this, this is an Earthway 1001B cedar. That's its model name. Earthway makes several models, but this is a single row cedar and it has a belt drive, which drives, if you can see inside there, a disc, which it has several of, and it picks those discs out like spoons and sort of scoops them into a hole down here. And this is a little plow, it's adjustable. So you adjust your depth like that and put it where you want it, lock it in. It'll make your little furrow, drop it, and then this chain comes behind it and sort of pushes the soil back. So it's pretty nifty, and I hear a lot of good things about Earthway. Earthway's a fairly reputable brand, sort of middle of the line. There's things that are better and things that are worse. So I was looking at another one that looks just like this. It's a Vevor brand. I think that's a Chinese brand, and they make a lot of other stuff too. We have a chicken plucker by Vevor, and it does really well, but there were sort of bad reviews on the cedars. So I went ahead and went with Earthway. It's got better reviews. Seems to be a little bit more solid of a product, and we're going to see how it does. Now, this stuff that I'm planting in, it's got some clumps, but it's pretty easy to break up. It's pretty fine, really. It's pretty silty. There's not really any clay in this stuff. I hear it's got a lot of problems with clay, and that's pretty well expected. Just some other first impressions with this thing. This is a row marker, and it seems like it's garbage. I'm not going to even try to use it because it's just so light duty. You put it on right here with a pin, and then it's just supposed to, I guess, follow the row. But I mean, that's not going to make a line, so I'm not even going to bother with it. Now this thing does come with a bunch of discs, and each of these discs can do different things. So like the one here on top, it'll do beets, okra, and Swiss chard. It'll probably do other things that are similar sized seeds. So it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then one in here. So it comes with 7 discs. The handle for it, push handle, pretty light duty. I don't know if you can see me flexing that. It's just some pretty small flat stock aluminum. It's all aluminum made, but you really shouldn't need to put a whole lot of weight on this thing and really dig in on it. You shouldn't need to be bending stuff to try to get a row. If you do, then you need to probably amend your garden a little more before starting with this. So I think it's going to do pretty well, but let's get to it and we'll take a look. All right, so the two things I've got to plant today to test this thing out is sugar peas and radishes. So those are two different discs. Obviously, radishes are real small. Snow peas are the size of peas. So I don't have that many snow peas. I've got quite a few more radishes, but this is a 1/4 pound bag. And they say the more you have in there, the better it does, which makes sense because on a slope, you know, it's going to the hopper is going to move. So we'll see how it goes. See if I can remember how to take this off here. Oh yeah, that was easy. So don't need that disc. Now there's 2 discs that come with this Earthway cedar that say peas. One of them says beans and small peas, and the other one says I think jumbo or giant peas. So I just took one of these peas, put it in this one of these scoopers, and made sure that it would fall through. So I think the small peas is best for what I've got, which is Oregon sugar pod peas. So I just install this, and it's going to be hard to show you at this angle, but it's very simple to lock in place there. It's locked. And here it says plant 1 inch deep. So I'm going to, before I put this in, I'm going to adjust my furrow depth. I'll loosen the wing nut, and it's actually got a depth gauge right here. So I'll go down to 1 inch mark, lock it in place. Little tarantula. All right, I'll pour these in, and you can see, that's how much a 1/4 pound fills up. So this could easily fit a pound, maybe 2 pounds of this variety at least. Last thing I want to do, obviously, pop my stop up, and I'm ready for action. All right, let's talk about the good and the bad so far of what I've seen. All I've done is I planted 3 rows here of these sugar peas, and there's some good things, there's some bad things. So first of all, the very first thing I did, put the disc in and filled it up with the 1/4 pound bag. I made it from right there to here, maybe 3 feet, before I realized it wasn't feeding. And what happened was, this disc brings it up to a slot right here, which brings it down and into the middle of this furrow. So somewhere in there, like 2 or 3 peas went down there at once and got stuck. Wouldn't let anything past it. It was kind of difficult to get it unstuck, and that was my first 3 feet. I will say, once I got it unstuck, my 3rd try, got it unstuck, and I started actually going with it. I never did get stuck another time, and I was able to do the 3 rows, and it took me like 3 minutes, maybe not even that long. And I could see each pea drop. The furrow was looking really nice in this fine-ish dirt. The finer the better, I hear. So this has been lightly tilled today, so it's pretty fine. I will say, whenever I came across, not this small, but clumps like this, clumps of just straw and old plant matter, and it would get caught right here, it would make it difficult to keep making furrow. So I had to unclog it like twice. It wasn't a big deal, but I will say, if you fertilize or whatever with straw, or you mulch with straw before you till it in, it's going to make it really difficult to use this thing. So I would use this and then put straw on top, if that's what you're going to do. What I do is we're going to put some rabbit manure mixed with straw on this after we're done. But that would make it difficult to use this. Otherwise, I think it did really well. So other than the clog, and other than the little bit of plant matter getting in my way a couple times, it just did its job, and it did it really well. Okay, I've got a 1/2 pound of radishes in here, and it fills up the hopper quite a bit better. Got the radish disc in, and the seed pack told me to set my depth for a 1/4 inch, so that's what I've got this set for. See how it does. All right, I got some rows done of the radishes, and this thing's a radish plant machine. This thing did really well with the radishes. Planted the right depth, the right spacing, in my opinion. Covered them well. It just did it really well. Now, whenever I got done, I put my little kickstand up and I set it down here, and just a little bit of wind knocked it over. I have a bunch of radish seeds right there, probably like a couple hundred, and I already took a lot up. So I don't know how many I had there, but I'm gonna have to pay extra attention now to make sure that doesn't overdo my where my onions and my peas are now. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Once you're done, go ahead and set them back in a bag ASAP, so this thing doesn't fall over. But it did really well. I think this would do really good with lettuce and things like that, real small stuff. The snow peas, it did pretty good. It had trouble with the chain and the wheel, with putting the dirt bag over them all the time, but it did a pretty good job, well enough. I'm not gonna go back, it'll be fine. And with the radishes, that was awesome. So if you are gonna be planting a lot of radishes, things with small seeds like that, with like lettuce, just, you know, that kind of stuff, this seems like a really good machine for that, as long as your dirt's right for the job. Clay dirt doesn't do well in, I hear, but in sandy dirt, I guess it does great in. This kind of dirt does great in. So depending on your situation, Earthway 1001B may be for you, and I think it's for me too. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Now I got sweat going in my eyes. But appreciate you guys watching, following along, subscribe if you'd like to see more stuff like this, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks. God bless.